On the same page? Okay. Thank you, sir.
I have nothing further.
Okay. Let's move on to 29.
Okay.
Commissioner, I recommend that the board approve the negotiated contract for the purchase of geographic information systems with GIS software and software maintenance, training, and support services with Environment Systems Research Institute, ESRI, as outlined in your agenda memorandum.
Okay, before I ask for a motion, I have one card in opposition. Mr. Pitts.
Thank you very much. Brian Pitts, City of St. Petersburg. Better watch it. 2.4 million. Software, hardware changes very frequently and rapidly. Yes, this is the top company, but guess what? They have to go with the changes too. You dump all this money at one time. I think you need to slow down. It's only GSI. It's not a whole. It's just GSI. Remember, that's only mapping. So I can see your comp plan all nice and beautiful and everything. And, you know, a lot of these handouts that you see, they all look beautiful, and you've got, you know, Google and all that. That's all false. Now, that, remember, you have to understand that GSI may not be compatible with other agencies. So when the software and everything is made, you have to have the correct hardware and software so it unifies with every agency in, or every city or aspect in this county. Because they haven't mastered the software yet to where it's compatible with everyone. It has to be made specifically for you. And if it's made specifically for you, someone else may not be able to use it, say in the Panhandle, unless you make sure it's compatible. Of course, you're driving up the price then. Now, it has a two-year option, talking about no software deployment. Not with this kind of technology. When things change, you got to change with it. So you better have the money. I'm just saying, you ready to go ahead and dive in this? You better have the money to do this, because it's going to change, because it's not perfected yet. One other aspect on here you mentioned, you'll see again, you're dealing with the county attorney's authority. Now, of course, I gave you the ordinance. So it says you can't do nothing unless, you know, where it increases the cost or the scope of the work. Did you mean to track the language of the ordinance, or do you mean something different here? Or are you creating a new ordinance? Because if you're relying on A2, it says amendments of contracts and leases approved by the Board of County Commissioners that involve time-only extensions when there is no increase in price and no changes in terms and conditions. Well, is scope of work equivalent with the wording changes in terms or conditions? Maybe not. Maybe you need to track the language of the actual ordinance in that, if you're going to put that in there. And again, it brings us back to what I was saying at the Citizens to Be Heard. You may need to clarify your ordinance to exactly what you want to give the county administration. Talk with him. Figure out what you want to do here, because in this particular case, it's not even tracking the language of the ordinance where you're saying you're arguing it to. But then again, it may be questionable, because 1A says he has everything he can do. He just put it in consent agenda. So again, we come back to that later. I gave it to you first at the beginning to get you prepared now, so you have. So I think you need to take a look at that. Now, you want to do it on a non-competitive basis, because you want to do it directly with ERI. I sure hope you don't get shafted. I hope you're getting the best bang for your buck for $2.4 million for this system that most likely is going to change by tomorrow. Or not by tomorrow, 1 year from now. That technology and the hardware and software for that is changing dramatically because we continue to improve. So I wish you the best on that. I think you need to slow down, be very careful and cautious when you spend that kind of money on that type of industry and technology, because it is so expensive. Though it's made cheap, they charge top dollar for it. And this company, if they can go ahead and railroad you and get top dollar from you, what else you can do? We're the one. Well, you know what? I'm going to go to resellers then, because you're not going to stiff me, and I know you may come with a change up and talk about, especially the aspect of not deploying any, in years, I think it's 5 or 6, not deploying any new software or hardware, I think it says there. You got to be kidding. 6 years from now, you got to have the new hardware and software that's going to go with this GSI, if it exists.
Thank you, Mr. Pitts. Back to disagreeing with you wholeheartedly. This GIS system, GIS, not GSI, is a major step forward for the county. The consolidation that's happening here is just what we've talked about for years, not only between county agencies, but also municipalities. I want to give kudos to our staff, Pam DeBove, who's here and is leading this project. This is a major step forward for the county and cities working together for better, effective government. So I can't make a motion, but I just want to give you kudos. Do y'all have any comments, Pam or Paul?
Move approval.
Got a motion and a second. Question or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.